The evening sky stretched like a soft canvas painted in shades of dusky pink, lavender blue, and a hint of fading gold, as if the sun itself had taken a brush dipped in watercolor and gently swept it across the heavens. A tender breeze stirred, carrying with the faintest perfume of blossoms and earth, an aroma that whispered of rest and serenity. Along the edges of the village lay the lavender fields, endless and shimmering, their violet crowns swaying in unison like an ocean of quiet lullabies. Each stalk leaned gracefully, bending just enough to catch the light of the waning sun, which spilled down upon the valley like warm honey, coating everything in a gentle, forgiving glow. Walking into those fields was like stepping into another realm, a place where time softened and hurried thoughts dissolved into the silence of nature's embrace. The path into the lavender stretched before you like a ribbon of pale dirt, winding gently between the purple seas, inviting tired feet to follow it into stillness. The air grew heavier with fragrance as you took the first step, and suddenly the weight of the day slipped away, as though the earth itself had reached up with invisible hands to lift your burdens and scatter them among the flowers. The hush of the evening was not empty. It was full of subtle songs, the faint buzzing of bees returning to their hives, the distant trill of a nightingale hidden among the hedgerows, and the rhythmic sigh of wind brushing against countless petals. Every sound seemed softened, as if muffled by velvet, leaving nothing sharp, nothing loud, nothing harsh enough to disturb the fragile quiet of this twilight sanctuary. The first brush of lavender against your fingertips was cool, slightly rough yet yielding, each flower head springing back into place after the briefest of touches, as though bowing politely before resuming its eternal vigil. The sight of rows upon rows of lavender stretched endlessly, blending into the horizon until the purple blurred into the coming night, a gentle reminder that even the most vibrant colors eventually fold themselves into the arms of darkness, ready to rest until dawn's return. As you moved deeper into the fields, the scent became more profound, curling into your lungs like a soothing lullaby for the body itself, slowing the breath, calming the heart, and guiding the mind toward stillness. With every inhalation, you felt your shoulders loosen, your steps grow lighter, and your thoughts drift further from the sharpness of the waking world. The sky above deepened, its pastels giving way to deeper blues sprinkled with faint stars, each one shimmering like a lantern in the great cosmic dome, as though the heavens themselves were lighting candles to guide your sleepy stroll. The moon, a gentle crescent, appeared slowly, hanging low as if curious to watch you wander. Its silver glow touched the lavender, turning their violet hue into an otherworldly sheen, pale and ghostly yet beautiful, like fields woven of moonlight itself. The longer you walked, the more it seemed the world you left behind no longer mattered. Your worries had become tiny, like forgotten pebbles left at the entrance of path, while here, among the flowers, there was only the rhythm of breath, the softness of earth beneath your soles, and the infinite expanse of quiet. Every step seemed to pull you deeper into a dream not yet begun, as though the fields themselves were opening a doorway into sleep, inviting you gently across its threshold. You could almost hear the lavender hum, an inaudible chorus, a song too deep for ears but clear enough for the soul, a melody of peace that seemed to say, "Rest now! You are safe here. You belong here. Let the world fall away." And so, with a heart lighter and a body softer, you continued your stroll, not to arrive anywhere, but simply to drift, to wander, and let the night carry you into its embrace, one lavender-scented breath at a time. As you wander further into lavender fields, the hush of twilight deepens, and the world behind you feels like a memory fading into mist. The pathway narrows slightly, its edges softened by tufts of grass and wildflowers that have crept in as if eager to share the stage with the lavender's purple seas. Delicate daisies, pale buttercups, and tiny wild violets peek through, their presence humble yet radiant, offering splashes of gentle color that glow faintly under the rising moon. The air grows cooler, the kind of cool that soothes rather than chills, wrapping around your arms like a silk shawl woven from night air itself. Each breath carries the mingled fragrance of the earth and blooms. Lavender first, sweet and calming, but layered with hints of crushed grass, the faint spice of wild mint at the edges of the field, and the distant smoky scent of wood fires being lit in the village homes behind you. It feels as though the night is creating a potion, drop by drop, to lull both body and spirit into surrender. Somewhere beyond, a soft rustling stirs, a hair darting quickly across the furrows, its white tail briefly visible before vanishing into shelter of the tall stalks. The sound is quick, almost playful, but it leaves no echo, only the reminder that life here moves gently, quietly, without hurry or demand. Above, the sky is fully surrendered to night, its deep indigo cloth now strewn with countless stars, some twinkling faintly, others burning more steadily, like old guardians keeping vigil over the sleeping earth. You pause for a moment to look upward, your neck craning toward infinity, and for that instant, the lavender beneath seems like an earthly mirror of the heavens above. Violet sees below, starry seas above, and you walk in the quiet river of air between them. The crescent moon hangs lower still, casting its silvery glow in a way that paints shadows across the field, long soft strokes of darkness lying across the rows like blankets. Each lavender stalk seems to shimmer when the moonlight catches it, as if each bloom has been dipped in frost, though the air is mild and warm. The path bends gently, guiding you deeper into the field, where the hum of crickets grows louder, blending into the night's orchestra. Their steady chirps form a rhythm, a slow, repeating lull that your footsteps begin to echo unconsciously. It is as though the earth itself had begun to sing you a song of sleep, the verses carried by wind, the chorus whispered by petals, the harmonies built from the pulse of night creatures hidden among the stems. A sense of timelessness surrounds you. Here there are no clocks, no ticking seconds, no reminders of tasks undone. There is only the stretch of lavender, the sweep of stars, and the softness of your breathing. You let your hand trail against the flowers again, and this time their coolness feels like tiny kisses against your skin, leaving traces of scent that cling to your fingertips. You bring them close and inhale, the aroma flooding your senses like a tide of tranquility, and when it comes a faintest sense of memory, a summer long past, a childhood afternoon, a place once visited where lavender grew in pots on a windowsill. It is as though the flowers themselves carry the stories of countless lives, whispering them to anyone willing to listen in silence. The deeper you go, the softer the world becomes, until even your thoughts feel hushed, moving not in hurried words, but in images, drifting like clouds across the mind sky. The lavender fields seem endless, stretching far beyond sight, and though you know they must end somewhere, in this moment they appear eternal, an infinite dreamscape spun just for you. Your feet move slowly, gently, as if not to disturb the dream, as if one heavy step might wake the world from its enchantment. And yet the path continues to invite you, to beckon you onward, promising more stillness, more softness, more rest hidden deeper within its violet embrace. The path ahead curves gently, drawing you deeper into the lavender's embrace, as though the fields themselves are guiding you toward a secret heart hidden within their endless purple tides. With each step, the sound of your footsteps softens, muffled by loose earth and scattered petals that have fallen to ground, little offerings from the flowers above. The deeper you go, the quieter the outside world becomes, until it feels as though you've left behind not just a village, but the very notion of time itself. Here, in the stillness, you are no longer bound by hours or days, only the slow rhythm of your breath and the steady pulse of the earth beneath your feet. The night air is thickened with fragrance now, almost tangible, as though you could hold it in your hands like a velvet ribbon. The lavender's perfume swirls around you, delicate yet deep, carrying the essence of calmness in every molecule. It does not overwhelm. Instead, it weaves itself gently into you, wrapping around your senses until your body begins to relax with every breath. The cares of the day, the little struggles, the heavy thoughts, the faint echoes of conversations, dissolve like ink in water, dispersing into nothing. In their place, only stillness remains, soft and wide as the night sky itself. Somewhere in the distance, the faint hoot of an owl drifts through the air, low and resonant, echoing just enough to remind you that this land is alive even when it seems still. You pause for a moment listening, and then you notice the soft rustling of the lavender as it bends with the breeze, a gentle shiver that runs the field like a wave across a quiet sea. The wind carries with it coolness now, a silvery breath that brushes against your skin, lifting strands of hair and sending them floating like whispers. You tilt your face toward the breeze and let it carry you deeper into calm, as though the night itself is whispering lullabies into your ears. The stars overhead have grown brighter as the moon continues its slow climb across the heavens, scattering silver light that drips across the fields like paint from an unseen brush. Each row of lavender glimmers faintly, their blossoms glowing pale against the darker stems, so that the entire field looks like a dream woven from threads of violet and silver. You begin to notice small details now. The quiet flicker of fireflies hovering between rows, their golden lanterns pulsing gently, rising and falling like breathing light. They dance slowly, unhurried, their glow never harsh but always soft, as though they too understand the sacred quiet of this hour. The sight makes you smile, not with energy, but with a kind of drowsy wonder that fills your chest with warmth. The fireflies, the lavender, the stars, they seem connected, each a tiny flame of light in its own way, each reminding you that even in darkness, beauty is abundant, patient, and infinite. The path winds on, and as you follow it, the weight of your body seems to lessen, your steps growing lighter, as though gravity itself is easing its hold on you. The farther you walk, the more dreamlike the world becomes, until you are no longer sure whether you are awake or already drifting into sleep. And yet it does not matter, for this place feels safe, timeless, and eternal, a sanctuary where waking and dreaming merge into one. Somewhere inside, your heart whispers that the journey is not meant to lead you anywhere beyond this moment. It is enough simply to walk, to breathe, to exist within the lavender's quiet song. With this thought, you exhale long and slow, and the night exhales with you, a shared rhythm that carries you deeper into peace. The path carries you onward, curling gently between the rows, until it feels less like you are walking through fields and more like you are moving within a living cathedral. Its walls formed not of stone but of swaying lavender, its ceiling a vast dome of stars. The flowers lean in ever so slightly, brushing your arms as you pass, as though they are bowing in greeting, acknowledging your quiet presence within their sanctuary. There is a sacred stillness here, not heavy or rigid, but alive, breathing, pulsing, and surrounding you with a sense of being cradled. Every sound you hear belongs to this stillness, like notes in a lullaby composed not by human hands, but by the world itself. The steady hum of the crickets forms the bass, a rhythm that repeats endlessly. The whisper of the breeze adds gentle harmonies, sweeping across the blossoms in waves. The occasional hoo of an owl or rustle of a small animal is a tender refrain, soft and unintrusive. Together, these sounds create a song that is less heard and more felt, a music that seeps into your bones and slows the very pace of your heartbeat. Your eyes wander to the stars again, noticing how they shimmer more brightly now, reflected faintly in your own gaze, as though the heavens are spilling their light into you. You imagine, for a moment, that each star is a small lantern hung above the earth, lit by unseen hands to guide weary souls homeward. The thought brings a wave of comfort, a reminder that you are never truly alone, even in the quietest stretches of night. The lavender responds to this thought as if in agreement, swaying slightly more noticeably, their violet crowns moving together like a congregation murmuring prayers of peace. You inhale deeply, letting their fragrance sink further into your chest, where it mingles with the slow rhythm of your breath, a steadying tide that carries you into calmness. The ground beneath you feels softer now, as though the path itself has changed, covered by a layer of petals and grass that cushions every step. There is no effort, no strain, just a gentle sensation of walking, each footfall a reminder that you are moving deeper into rest, closer to the heart of the dream that unfolds around you. The coolness of the earth rises faintly through the soles of your feet, grounding you, connecting you to the vast web of life that thrives invisibly beneath the soil. Roots stretch deep into the earth here, intertwining in silent networks, carrying whispers and messages between plants, a hidden language of the living world. Though you cannot hear it, you feel its presence, as though the lavender is speaking softly beneath the surface, telling you, you belong. You are part of us. Rest with us. A gentle drowsiness begins to spread through you, not the sharp kind that drags the eyes closed abruptly, but a soft, flowing tide that moves slowly through your body, loosening each muscle, lightening each thought. Your shoulders feel as though they have uncurled for the first time in ages. Your breath has lengthened into easy sighs, and your very heartbeat seems to move slower, syncing itself with the rhythm of the night. Each moment feels stretched, not rushing to the next, but lingering, savoring itself, like drops of honey sliding slowly from a spoon. The lavender, the stars, the breeze, all of it conspires gently to carry you into the threshold of dreams, and you surrender willingly, trusting the softness that surrounds you. Ahead, the path glimmers faintly, touched by moonlight, and you find yourself moving not with purpose but with instinct, guided by the quiet pull of the night itself. You have no destination, no end to seek, and yet every step feels meaningful, as though it's part of a story written long ago, a story where you are both traveler and dreamer, walking not through fields but through the very heart of peace. And as you walk, your eyelids grow heavier, not from exhaustion, but from the sweetness of surrender, the body's way of bowing gently to the call of rest. The deeper you move into the lavender fields, the more the world behind you feels like a distant dream, fading into horizon with every step. The path is no longer just earth and stone. It feels like a thread, delicate and luminous, weaving you into the fabric of the night itself. Around you, the lavender leans closer, forming gentle walls of violet that sway and breathe, their blossoms glimmering faintly as though each one has captured a fragment of moonlight. It is a sight that fills your chest with warmth, not the fiery warmth of the sun, but the tender glow of something quiet and eternal. You realize, as you breathe in the fragrance again, that this field is more than a place. It is an embrace, a cradle of the earth, and you are being rocked gently within it, lulled into harmony with its rhythm. The sky above has darkened into its deepest indigo, and the stars now scatter themselves thickly across its expanse, each one a tiny guardian watching over your journey. You imagine that some of them are old companions, lights you have seen on countless nights, while others are strangers, appearing only now to share in this particular walk. Together, they form constellations, patterns that feel less like maps of the heavens and more like lullabies written in light. The crescent moon hangs low and tender, its pale silver glow spilling across the field in ribbons, so that a lavender rose shimmer as though woven with threads of frost. Fireflies have multiplied now, their lanterns blinking softly, drifting in clusters like wandering stars that descended to earth for the night. They hover near your shoulders, then rise again, their glow warm and fleeting, a reminder of the delicate, temporary beauty of all things. As you walk, you begin to notice how silence here is not empty but abundant, layered with 1,000 soft voices of the night. The wind carries a low hum, almost like a chant, as it brushes across the sea of flowers. Crickets play their steady notes in the grass, filling the air with their endless rhythm. Far off, you hear the distant murmur of water, perhaps a brook or hidden spring, its sound too faint to guide you, but present enough to suggest that life is always moving quietly, even when unseen. Every sound, every whisper, seems to fold into a single melody, one that you do not need to understand with words. It is enough simply to listen, to allow it to flow into your chest and rest there, softening you with every passing moment. The path feels softer now, covered with scattering of petals and leaves that cushion each step, as though the earth itself wants to spare you from any effort. You let your feet slow, lingering in the stillness, no longer walking to reach an end, but simply moving because the night invites you to drift. Your hand brushes against the lavender again, and this time, the touch lingers. The cool blossoms bend beneath your fingers, leaving behind their perfume like a gentle blessing. The scent seeps into your skin, and you feel it calming not only your body but your thoughts, weaving peace into the very fabric of your being. You realize that even your thoughts have slowed, no longer darting ahead or behind, but flowing steadily, like a river that knows its course without hurry. A deep yawn escapes you, long and slow, and it feels like the night itself yawns with you, stretching its arms wide across the sky. The stars shimmer a little more brightly, the lavender sways a little more tenderly, and you feel yourself sink further into the rhythm of the earth. Each moment here feels infinite, as though the night could last forever, holding you in this dreamlike space where the boundaries of waking and sleeping blur. You no longer worry about what lies beyond the fields, for you understand now that this walk is not about reaching a destination. It is about surrender, about letting the lavender and the starlight cradle you until sleep itself arrives as a friend. And so, with every step, every breath, you feel yourself drawing closer to that gentle edge where dreams begin to weave their quiet tapestry around you, waiting only for you to close your eyes and step fully inside. The night deepens as you wander further, and yet instead of darkness closing in, it feels as though the lavender fields are opening wider, stretching beyond the limits of sight, dissolving into an endless expanse of violet and silver. The path is softer here, almost dreamlike beneath your feet, as though you are walking not on soil but on a cloud spun from petals and moonlight. The cool air carries whispers from the earth, the faint, earthy pulse of roots, soil, and flowers that have been here long before you and will remain long after. There's a sense of timelessness in every detail, a reminder that while your steps may be fleeting, the lavender has walked with countless travelers before, soothing each of them in its quiet embrace. You feel honored, almost humbled, to be among them, part of this long, unbroken line of souls who have found rest here. Your gaze drifts upward, and you notice the moon has shifted, climbing a little higher, glowing brighter now as though it is pouring more light onto your path. Its beams fall across the lavender rows, turning them into rivers of silver violet, shimmering as though alive with a secret fire. Between the rows, fireflies continue their dance, but now they seem to move in patterns, as if they too are guided by the unseen music of the night. They weave in slow spirals, rise in gentle arcs, and vanish suddenly into the stalks, only to appear again a few paces ahead, like tiny messengers leading you further along. Their glow is fleeting yet comforting, and you find yourself smiling faintly, not with energy, but with the soft contentment of someone who has surrendered fully to peace. The breeze has changed slightly. It no longer carries only coolness, but now feels tinged with warmth, like the faint exhale of the earth itself. It wraps around your shoulders as though the night has lent you its own cloak, soft and invisible, keeping you safe as you continue your slow drift forward. The fragrance of lavender thickens in the air, but it is not cloying. It is gentle, layered, almost musical. Each breath feels like a note, and when strung together, your breathing becomes part of the night's lullaby. You begin to realize that you are no longer just an observer in this place. You are woven into it, every inhale and exhale becoming a thread in its tapestry. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the low, bubbling murmur of a stream. Its voice is faint but steady, like liquid glass flowing over hidden stones. You cannot see it yet, but its song reaches you nonetheless, blending seamlessly with the chorus of crickets and the soft sighs of the wind. The promise of water nearby feels reassuring, as though even in the silence, the land continues to breathe and flow, sustaining life quietly and endlessly. You imagine the stream catching the moonlight just as the lavender does, its ripples glinting with silver, a mirror to the stars above. For a moment, you picture yourself pausing beside it, dipping your hand into its cool depths, feeling the freshness wash away the last remnants of wakefulness clinging to your skin. As you walk, your body grows heavier, though not with fatigue, rather with a pleasant drowsiness that feels like a blanket settling over you. Each step is slower now, your movements unhurried, as if the path itself is urging you to linger, to savor the sweetness of this wandering. Your eyelids feel weighty, and when they flutter half shut, the world around you seems even softer, blurred like a watercolor painting where every color bleeds gently into the next. The lavender's purple melts into silver of moonlight, the fireflies blur into golden smudges, and the stars become soft sparks drifting in a sky of velvet. Everything seems dreamlike, and you wonder briefly if you're already asleep, walking to the landscape of your own imagination. Yet the air feels too real, the fragrance too vivid, the earth too steady beneath your feet. Perhaps it is both. Perhaps this place is where waking and dreaming meet, where the veil between them is as thin as the petals brushing against your hands. You pause for a moment, close your eyes completely, just to listen. The sounds wash over you in layers. The cricket's chorus, the rustle of the lavender, the distant song of the stream, and the soft rhythm of your own breath. Together, they create a symphony so gentle it feels like it was composed for this very moment, for you alone. The thought brings with it a swell of peace so profound that you feel it settle deep into your chest, loosening the last knots of tension, silencing the last echoes of the world beyond the fields. You open your eyes again, and though nothing has changed, everything feels more luminous, more tender, as though the lavender itself is smiling at you, encouraging you to keep moving deeper into the embrace of the night. The murmur of the stream grows clearer with each step, guiding you gently through the lavender's violet labyrinth. Soon the path bends, and through the tall stalks you glimpse the faint shimmer of water under the moonlight. Drawn forward by its song, you emerge into a clearing where the lavender parts, revealing a slender brook flowing like a silver ribbon through the fields. The moon rests upon its surface in fractured pieces, broken by ripples that scatter into countless dancing shards of light. You pause at its edge, letting the sight wash over you. The water is slow and steady, its voice soft, as though it speaks only to those who arrive in silence. You kneel, dipping your fingers into its cool embrace, and feel a wave of calm rush up your arm and into your chest. The sensation is refreshing, not startling, as though the brook itself has been waiting to share its serenity with you. Around the stream, the lavender bends differently, its stalks leaning toward the water as if to listen, as if the flowers themselves find comfort in its endless lullaby. Fireflies hover above it, their golden lights mirrored in the surface, so that it looks as though tiny lanterns float both above and within the current. The crickets have grown quieter here, as though giving space for the brook's voice to take the lead in the symphony of night. You close your eyes and breathe deeply, the mingled scent of water and lavender filling you with a sense of cleansing. In that moment, you feel as though you could stay here forever, letting the stream whisper away every trace of worry, every leftover shadow of thought, until you are nothing but stillness wrapped in moonlight. Your reflection shimmers faintly in the water, blurred by ripples, softened by silver glow. It does not look sharp or exact but dreamlike, as though it belongs more to another world than this one. You watch it with gentle detachment, recognizing yourself but not clinging to the image, as though the brook is reminding you that identity is fluid, ever-shifting, like the water itself. Just as the stream carries fallen petals gently onward, so too does life carry you, softly, without need for resistance. The thought brings a smile to your lips, a smile born not of amusement but of peace, the kind of smile that comes when a heart is entirely at rest. You rise slowly, continuing your walk along the stream's edge, the ground softer here, dampened by the water's nearness. Each step releases a faint fragrance of wet earth that blends with the lavender's perfume, creating a deeper, more grounding scent like the harmony beneath a melody. The path mirrors the brook, curving gently, guiding you as though the two are partners in a dance. The stars above reflect in the moving water, flickering with every ripple, so that it looks as though the universe itself is flowing at your feet. You realizing that the fields, the sky, the stream, they are not separate but one vast tapestry, each thread woven seamlessly into the other, and you, too, are part of it, your footsteps another stitch in its endless design. The sound of the stream grows softer again as you move further, fading into the background hum of the night. In its place rises the song of the lavender once more, the rustle of countless blooms moving with the breeze, the faint buzzing of bees settling into hidden hives, the low calls of night birds passing overhead. The return feels like slipping back into a familiar embrace, as though the stream was a brief pause, a gentle interlude, before the lavender took you back into its arms. You feel the drowsiness deepen within you, heavier now, as though the water has washed away the last threads of wakefulness and left you ready to step fully into the realm of dreams. Your eyelids droop as you walk, and the fields blur softly at the edges of your vision. Shapes melt into one another, the lavender becoming waves, the stars becoming lanterns, the fireflies becoming drifting embers. You blink slowly, each opening of your eyes revealing a world more dreamlike than the last, until you can no longer tell where waking ends and dreaming begins. The lavender does not mind. It welcomes you either way, rocking you gently in its endless rhythm, carrying you forward on this sleepy stroll that feels as though it may never end and yet always leads you home. The lavender fields seem to deepen in mystery as you wander onward. Each step carry you into a space where reality and dream weave together so seamlessly that they feel like the same fabric. The path narrows once more, winding gently between rows that now tower just a little taller, their violet blossoms brushing your arms with each sway. It feels as though the flowers lean in closer, not crowding, but cradling you, guiding you toward some hidden heart within their purple sea. The air grows richer with fragrance, the perfume of lavender more concentrated now, swirling around you like a soft veil. Breathing in feels like drinking serenity itself. Each inhale carrying calmness into your chest, each exhale releasing the last faint remnants of thought. The stars overhead glitter more vividly than ever, their countless pinpricks of light shimmering like jewels scattered across black velvet. You find yourself staring upward often, slowing your pace to marvel at their brilliance. The constellations shift slowly as the night deepens, their patterns ancient yet alive, stories written across the sky by hands long forgotten. For a moment, you imagine those stars looking down on every traveler who has ever walked these fields, offering their glow as a lantern for wandering souls. That thought fills you with warmth, the quiet comfort of belonging to a vast and timeless story that stretches beyond the horizon of memory. You notice, too, how the night itself feels thicker now, more intimate, as though it is folding around you. Sounds grow hushed, softened as if cushioned by velvet. The chirping of crickets continues, but more distant, like a song echoing from another world. The breeze whispers lightly, rustling the blossoms with a tenderness that feels almost like language. Every sound carries the same message: rest, linger, surrender. You feel your body obeying, your steps slowing even further, your limbs heavy in the sweetest way, as though you're being invited not to push forward, but to simply exist in this moment, unhurried, unbound. As you pause along the path, you let your hand brush the lavender once more. This time the flowers bend deeply under your touch, and when you lift your fingers to your face, the scent clings to them, potent and sweet, like a personal blessing. You close your eyes, and for a heartbeat it feels as though the fragrance itself carries you elsewhere, to childhood summers, to gentle gardens, to afternoons where laughter and sunlight were abundant. Memory and imagination blur, rising unbidden yet welcomed, soft images that hover like clouds, soothing and fleeting. When you open your eyes again, the field remains before you, unchanged and eternal, but you carry within you the sweetness of those visions, like echoes of forgotten lullabies. The fireflies are thicker here, their glow brighter, their movements slower, as though they too are growing drowsy in the presence of so much calm. They hover low, weaving glowing trails that linger faintly in your vision, golden threads embroidered into the night. Some settle briefly upon the lavender blooms, their light flickering against violet petals, creating tiny lanterns that seem to mark your way. Their presence feels reassuring, like gentle companions who ask nothing of you except that you continue to drift, continue to breathe, continue to surrender to the quiet. The path dips slightly, curving into a hollow where the air feels even cooler, touched by hidden currents. The lavender here grows thicker, the stalks denser, so that the world feels enclosed, like a secret chamber. It is not confining but protective, as though you have stepped into the innermost heart of the field. The silence deepens here, too, so deep that you can hear your own heartbeat, slow and steady, echoing in your ears. The rhythm matches the sway of the lavender, the flicker of the fireflies, the pulse of the stars above. You realize with a kind of wonder that your body is no longer separate from the field. It moves with it, breathes with it, belongs to it. A drowsiness settles heavier upon you now, draping itself across your shoulders, pulling gently at your eyelids. Each blink lasts longer, the world fading into soft blurs of purple and silver. You do not resist. You welcome it, knowing that the fields are a safe cradle, a place where even dreams are woven gently, without edges sharp enough to startle. As you continue your slow steps, you sense the boundary between waking and dreaming dissolving completely, until the lavender fields are not just around you but within you, flowing through every breath, every thought, every heartbeat. And with that, you drift onward, not walking toward an end but sinking into the eternal embrace of night itself. The lavender fields open once more as you step beyond the hollow, spreading wide like a quiet ocean under the moon. Here, the rows are longer, stretching in perfect symmetry until they merge with the horizon, their deep violet hue almost melting into the night. You feel a sense of vastness, as though you are standing at the edge of a world that has no boundaries, where the fields could go on forever, circling the globe, endless and eternal. The moonlight rests gently upon each stalk, giving the illusion that every flower glows faintly, as if they hold a secret luminescence meant only for those who wander by night. The effect is hypnotic. The more you stare, the more the entire field seems to shimmer, like a sea of stars blooming upon the earth. You begin walking again, though now your steps feel less like walking and more like gliding, as though the earth itself carries you forward. The air is cooler here, kissed by a faint mist that has drifted in from unseen valleys. The mist wraps itself around the lavender, softening the world into blurred shades of violet and silver. It is as though you are inside a painting, Every detail brushed in watercolor strokes, the edges feathered, the colors blending. The mist carries a fragrance of the flowers higher, surrounding you even more fully, until each breath feels like inhaling tranquility itself. Time slows further, seconds stretching like long, gentle waves, and you lose all sense of how long you've been here. Above, the stars appear closer now, almost within reach. One in particular, a bright, steady beacon, seems to follow you as you walk. Its glow is pure and unwavering, a silver flame suspended in darkness. You cannot help but feel that it is watching you, guiding you, perhaps even blessing you. It flickers slightly, and you imagine it speaking a language too ancient for words, whispering promises of peace, of rest, of dreams carried safely through the night. You smile faintly, letting its glow sink into you, until it feels less like a star above and more like a light within your own chest. The field hums faintly with life, a sound so subtle you wonder at first if it is only your imagination, but then you realize it is a combined whisper of countless things. The sigh of the wind moving through flowers, the buzz of tiny wings brushing the air, the faint rustle of hidden creatures who move quietly in the undergrowth. Together, they create a steady, low vibration, a lullaby sung by the field itself. It is not a song of words but of essence, carrying the rhythm of life in its purest form. The hum settles into your bones, soothing aches you did not know you carried, untangling thoughts you had not realized were knotted. You pause for a moment to kneel, letting your fingers drift once more through the blossoms. This time, you lean close, pressing your face gently against the blooms, breathing them in more fully. The world narrows to the scent, the softness of petals brushing your skin, the coolness of dew dampening your cheeks. For a brief and beautiful instant, there is nothing else. No field, no stars, no path. Only lavender, only fragrance, only peace. When you draw back, the world feels even softer, even calmer, as if it too has leaned closer to you in return. The mist thickens slightly, curling around your ankles as you walk. It swirls with each step, glowing faintly in the moonlight, creating the impression that you are walking not on earth but across clouds. Each movement becomes dreamlike, a drifting rather than a walking, and you wonder perhaps you are no longer bound by the weight of the waking world at all. The thought is not frightening but comforting, as though the fields have lifted you into a space where nothing heavy can follow, where only ease, softness, and serenity are allowed. The fireflies reappear, more numerous than before, their golden sparks floating gracefully through the mist. They weave around you, circling gently, never startling, never hurried. Some rise higher, mingling with the stars above until it is impossible to tell where the sky ends and the earth begins. Others hover close, their light reflecting in your eyes, filling your vision with tiny suns. They seem to escort you forward, a quiet procession, as though honoring your passage deeper into the heart of night. The beauty of it all is overwhelming, yet not in a way that stirs excitement. Rather, it pulls you deeper into stillness, into wonder too soft to disturb the calm. You feel your eyelids grow heavier once more, the pull of sleep undeniable yet gentle, like the tide drawing slowly back to the sea. You realize that this journey has not been about reaching a destination, but about surrendering fully to this unfolding calm. The lavender, the stars, the mist, the fireflies, all of it has been leading you not outward but inward, guiding you toward a place of rest that has always existed within you. And so, with each breath, each step, you drift further into that quiet, deeper into the heart of night, carried on waves of lavender and moonlight toward the final embrace of sleep. The lavender fields, endless and eternal, begin to quiet even further, as though the very night itself is preparing to rest. The stars shimmer softly overhead, their brilliance tempered now into a more muted glow, like candles burning low after a long vigil. The moon, too, seems gentler, its silver light washing the rows of lavender in a softer sheen, until the blossoms appear less like flowers and more like clouds of violet mist drifting across the earth. The world has grown hushed, slowed, and softened, and you sense that you have reached the final part of your journey, the place where waking and dreaming dissolve into one. Your steps grow so slow that they hardly feel like steps at all. It is as though the earth itself carries you forward, or perhaps you are no longer moving outward but inward, deeper into the stillness blooming inside you. Each breath is steady, smooth, effortless. Each exhale releases the last traces of thought, of memory, of wakefulness. You feel weightless, as though you could dissolve in the fragrance that surrounds you, become one with the lavender, with the night, with the silence. And in that weightlessness, there is peace so profound it feels infinite. The fireflies linger, their lights now softer, dimming with the rhythm of your breathing. They no longer dance, but hover quietly, as though they too are ready to rest. Their golden glow blends with the silver of the moon, creating an aura of light that envelopes you without edges, a cocoon of radiance in which nothing can disturb you. Even the wind is stilled, its whispers now only faint sighs that barely stir the blossoms. The world holds its breath, waiting with you, pausing with you, cradling you in this moment between worlds. Somewhere within the lavender, an owl calls once, low, soothing, distant. Its voice echoes softly through the night, carrying no urgency, only reassurance, a reminder that the world watches over you even in sleep. The sound fades into silence again, and you realize that everything here has conspired to lull you, to guide you gently across the threshold. Nothing sharp, nothing sudden, nothing to awaken, only the soft, continuous flow of calmness, like a tide that carries you further and further from the shore of thought. You lower yourself to the ground, sinking into the lavender's embrace. The earth is cool beneath you, but the flowers lean close, cushioning you, their blossoms brushing against your skin like the touch of a lullaby. The fragrance rises even stronger here, filling you completely, saturating every breath, every heartbeat, until it feels as though you are breathing not air but dreams themselves. You close your eyes, and darkness blooms softly behind your eyelids, not empty darkness, but rich and velvety, full of warmth and the echo of starlight. The rhythm of the night becomes your rhythm. The slow sway of blossoms, the dimming flicker of fireflies, the heartbeat of the earth beneath you. Your own breathing falls into perfect harmony with these patterns, until there is no difference between the field and yourself. You are the lavender, swaying gently in the night. You are the stars, flickering softly against infinity. You are the silence, deep and unbroken. Everything that was once outside of you is now within, and everything within flows outward, until there is no boundary at all. Dreams begin to stir, not sudden or sharp, but like colors blending slowly across a canvas. You see soft shapes, drifting lights, voices like whispers carried on wind. They rise gently from the lavender, born from fragrance and moonlight, and curl around you like protective veils. Each dream is a gift from a night, tenderly placed within your resting mind. They carry no weight, no worry, only gentleness, only wonder, only serenity. The longer you linger in this space, the more you sink into them, until waking thought is nothing but a faraway echo, fading into silence. The fields remain timeless and eternal, but you no longer walk them. Instead, they carry you, their fragrance a lullaby that rocks you, their blossoms a cradle that holds you. The stars above burn faintly on, their light steady, keeping watch. The moon glows with patient calmness, offering her silver embrace. The world itself seems to whisper one final message: rest, dream, drift, and you surrender completely, body and spirit, to that invitation. And so at last you sleep. The lavender fields stretch on forever in your dreams, violet seas under silver skies. We will wander gently, endlessly, always cradled, always safe. Here, night is eternal and rest is infinite. Here, the lavender field will hold you for as long as you wish, and even longer, until morning comes soft and far away. And even then, you will carry them with you. The fragrance, the stillness, the stars, woven forever into your heart, like a memory of a dream too beautiful to fade.